So in today's video, we are going to quickly discuss the Kansas City Chiefs drafting Jaylen Watson. Now, before we get into the video, please consider liking and subscribing, and let's jump right into the video. So Jaylen Watson is a cornerback out of Washington State. He was taken in the 7th round with the 243rd pick in this year's draft. So obviously he was a very late draft pick for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I really don't see this pick much more than probably a depth pick, because I don't want to be negative about this whatsoever. I don't think there's anything negative about a guy going in the 7th round. But I think there is a little bit of downside when it comes to Jaylen Watson. I don't really think he's gonna really be a starter on the team. Really, I think he's mainly there for the depth of the team. I really think that's the value that he's gonna bring to the team, and I still think that's a huge value, because if a corner goes down, you need a guy to come in, help the team out, and keep that defense afloat as long as that guy's out, or if they need him in there long term. You need to have depth at that position, and you need the defense to stay afloat. So having depth is never a bad thing. If we're looking at Jaylen Watson, he's 6'2", 197 pounds. He's a big corner. That's the thing. He's a very big corner. So that's the upside. A guy that's that big is always going to bring some kind of value to a defense, especially with the NFL. There is some smaller wide receivers in the NFL, and if he gets placed on one of those guys, I think good things can happen for him if he is on some of those guys. But the downsides do come with the fact that if you look at what the scouting report said, he struggled against the USC receivers when he played them, and he only played 2 years of FBS football, and he really only played one full season, because the 2020 season, I believe he only played 3 games. He only played 15 games total at Washington State. He got 44 tackles and 2 interceptions in those games. But based off of everything that I read and saw about him, he definitely took a leap in his second year in 2021. He showed improvements. He showed the ability to improve and get better as time went along. So that's always a bright side, a guy that can always get better. And again, a depth piece. So you have a guy that can bring depth to a team, and you also have a guy that can improve throughout his time. Always a good thing, always something that you're going to want for a football team. And at cornerback position, I really always am going to be happy with depth at that position, because injuries, they happen in the NFL. So you always want guys to come in there. Now, it did sound like he was going to need a little bit of work when it comes to coaching him up and everything else. Nothing bad about him. It's just he needs a little bit of coaching. So Spags and Dave Merritt will have to work with him, get him a little bit up to speed, get him better. And if he does eventually play, I believe in those two guys to help him get better. He'll be definitely, like I said, a great depth piece. I don't think he's going to be a starter for this defense. I really don't see that ever happening, because just the way the defense is now, and then who they took with Joshua Smith. But again, a depth piece, and you're never going to complain about a guy who can bring run support, can hit guys, and again, bring depth to a defense. Those are my thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs drafting Jaylen Watson. Give me your thoughts down below of the Chiefs drafting Jaylen Watson, and I'll see you in the next one.